That fossil revived from a rock in fire red, it's based on a real animal, one that actually lived and then died. And it got wiped out by the worst thing that ever happened to this planet. Every fossil Pokemon has a story like this, and they're not all the same story. Some of them didn't even die from the asteroid you're thinking of. One whole group has nothing to do with the dinosaurs. It comes from people getting things wrong. I'm saving those for the end. Now, before we start, which fossil did you actually revive in your game? Keep it in your head, we'll come back to it. Let's start with the one everybody knows, the asteroid. A rock the size of a city slams into what's now Mexico. It wipes out dinosaurs. This was 66 million years ago, and a bunch of our fossil Pokemon go down right here. Start with the easy one, Tyrant and Tantrum. Come on, guys, it's a T-Rex. The Pokedex even says Tantrum acted like a king and nothing could stop it. Well, nothing except a giant rock. Next is Tortuga and Caracosta. This one confused me for a while. Bulbapedia said Tortuga looks like a baby leatherback sea turtle, but that didn't sit right. Leatherbacks are still around today. They're not extinct. And Caracosta's dex entry keeps talking about crushing hard shells and bones. Leatherbacks mostly eat jellyfish. So I dug a little bit more, and I think it lines up way better with the Arculon. The Arculon is extinct, it's related to sea turtles, and it likes eating hard-shelled stuff. That's my best guess, and if you think I'm wrong, tell me why below. I really want to know. Now the prey. Poor Omnite and Omistar. Our little spiral shell guy is based on Ammonites. Ammonites are pretty much squid in a coiled shell. The deck says Omistar's shell got too big and heavy so it couldn't hunt and it starved. And that's not far off. After the asteroid, the little ones couldn't eat and the ocean turned acidic on their eggs. So yeah, rip. Then there's Shieldon and Bastiodon. This one's based on a ceratopsian called the Chasmosaurus. And I'll be honest, there's not a lot going on here. Bastiodon is just a chill guy who eats grass and berries. Kind of wish we had more Bastions around. Aurorus is another calm one. It's based on the sauropods, those big long-necked dinosaurs, and you can really see it. And here's where I think Game Freak got clever. Sauropod fossils have turned up all over the place, even in the Antarctica. So I think they took that and made a cold weather what-if version. Aurorus didn't go out from the asteroid though. Its world just got warmer and meaner Pokemon moved in and started hunting it. Different ending, same result. Last one for the asteroid is Aerodactyl. It's a Pterosaur. The dex loves its saw-like fangs and how it can tear through a steel type. It went out with the asteroid, same as the real Pterosaurs. But here's the cool part. In the games, you bring it back with DNA. That's the exact Jurassic Park trick. I love when Pokemon sneaks a movie reference in like that. So that's the asteroid crew. A whole pile of Pokemon gone in one bad day. But some fossil Pokemon never even met the asteroid because they were already long dead, like way older. Let's go back, way back, before the dinosaurs even showed up. First, Anorith and Armaldo. These are based on the animal Curious, one of the first real apex predators this planet ever had. And check the name. Animal Curious from ancient Greek roughly means abnormal shrimp. I know, it doesn't look like anything you'd put on a plate, but it's technically an ancient shrimp cousin. And look at those two grabber arms on the Anorith. The real animal Clarius had those too, for snatching prey. So the match is pretty clear, and this thing is old. It swam around in ancient seas long before a single dinosaur existed. As far as I can tell, it vanished way back then too, in a totally different chapter of Earth. So no asteroid for this one. It was long gone before the rock even showed up. Then we've got Lileep and Cradily. Looking at these, you'd swear they're plants, and I get it, but they're actually based on the crinoid. Most people call them sea lilies, and before you comment sea lilies aren't extinct, I know. There's still around 700 kinds today, but not all of them made it. That's why Lileep is a fossil. So how did the sea lilies get hit? I kind of regret looking this up because it's grim. Around 252 million years ago, way before the dinosaur asteroid, there was another extinction. And this one was the worst thing that's ever happened to Earth. Worse than the asteroid. People call it the Great Dying. Volcanoes in Siberia just would non-stop erupt. They choked the oceans of oxygen and cranked up the heat, and it wiped out most life in the sea, plus a huge chunk of it on land. And that's the moment this whole thing clicked for me. These aren't made up monsters, they're real animals that lived and struggled and then didn't, all hidden inside a card game. While we're on survivors, the next Pokemon I want to show you was thought to be extinct for millions of years, just gone. And then in 1938, somebody pulled a live one out of the ocean. So here's my one ask, don't disappear on me, hit the subscribe. It's one click and it really does mean a lot. Okay, now back to the fossils that cheated death. So not every fossil Pokemon really died out. A couple of them are based on animals that are still alive right now. Start with Kabuto and Kabutops. Look at Kabuto's dex entry and it says it was brought back from a fossil on an ancient seafloor. But Kabuto is based on the horseshoe crab, and the horseshoe crab's still here. They lived through the Great Dying and then the asteroid too. They're still crawling around. So why make it a fossil? My guess is because people literally call the horseshoe crab a living fossil. It's barely changed forever, and catching Kabuto while surfing would honestly just feel wrong. It just looks too prehistoric. So I'm with Game Freak on this one. Now, the other one that lived to see it all, Relicanth. It's based on the coelacanth. Same deal as the horseshoe crab, another so-called living fossil. Except here's the wild part. We thought the coelacanth was long gone for millions of years until 1938 when a live one turned up in a fishing net. And I love that Pokemon made Relicanth something you can catch in the game instead of reviving. Though, good luck. The encounter rate is tiny and it barely wants to get caught, which kind of fits, that's the whole point. Oh, and that fossil you were keeping in your head from the start? If it was Kabuto, the horseshoe crab one, congrats. Your little guy technically never went extinct at all. It's a nice reminder. Sometimes the thing we thought was gone is just hiding, which is exactly the problem with the next two. Up to now, every fossil had an answer. What it's based on, how it died, but these next two, nobody can really tell you. First, Archon and Archeops. This one is clearly the Archaeopteryx. Even the dex plays with it. It says Archon was once thought to be the ancestor of all bird Pokemon, but newer research says maybe not. And guess what the real Archaeopteryx was thought to be? The ancestor of all birds. Same idea, even the names almost rhyme. But how did it go extinct? Here's the thing, we don't really know. The asteroid doesn't seem to be the cause. The best guess is the world changed too fast and it couldn't keep up. But nobody can say for sure. It's a real blank spot. Then there's Genesect, and Genesect is a different kind of mystery because there is no real animal behind it at all. What we know from the lore is that Team Plasma dug up an ancient bug fossil and rebuilt it into basically a walking weapon. In the games, you can't just revive it either. You need an event or a specific trait, so it stays rare. I think it's just an ancient bug scaled way up and turned into a robot, but that's only a guess. So those are what we can't fully explain, which brings me to the group I've been saving, the ones that aren't about dinosaurs at all. Remember at the very start when I said one group of fossils comes from people getting things wrong? Here they are. Sword and Shield gave us 4 fossil Pokemon: Dracovish, Dracozolt, Arctovish, and Arctozolt. Look at them. They look wrong, and that's on purpose, because these are a joke, a pretty smart one. Back when people first started digging up fossils, we had no idea what we were doing, so we made mistakes. We stuck the bones of 2 different animals together, some skeletons got built backwards, and that's exactly what these Pokemon are. You smash 2 fossils together and get a mismatched monster. Even the dex entries laugh about it. The bad fusion is what kills them. Their top half wants one thing and their bottom half wants another. And that's the one thing that stuck with me the most, because it's really a story about us, about people getting it wrong and still guessing. And Pokemon turned that into a card you can hold in your hand. So that's the hidden graveyard sitting inside your binder. A horseshoe crab that quietly outlived every disaster on this list, and 4 little monsters that only exist because people guessed wrong. And this is why I think fossil cards are so cool to collect. Every one of them is a real animal that actually lived and then vanished. You're holding a piece of real extinction. Kinda makes me want to build a whole fossil binder now, and I don't think it even costs much since most of these aren't chase cards. So here's my question for you. Would a fossil theme make your next collection? Because it's on my list now. Drop a comment and tell me your favorite fossil Pokemon. And if you caught that horseshoe crab twist earlier, let me know how yours turned out. If you like this one, go watch my video on the secret region Pokemon built and then erased, because it's the same kind of hidden story I love digging into. I really appreciate you for watching and being patient with how I pronounce things. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.